Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we are going to a deep dive into the number 2, where we're going to ask, why can't we all just get along, man? We're going to talk about if 2 is on your personal calendar. We're going to talk about positive traits and challenges. We're going to talk about possible career paths for Life Path 2 and more. But first, please subscribe if you haven't already and hit that bell so you don't miss any future uploads. So what exactly does the number 2 stand for? Well, the number 2 is about peace and love and duality and balance. There are 2 sides to the story. There are 2 yin and yang energies. There's receptive, there are peacemakers that bridge these 2 opposing sides together. See, 1 wants to stand alone and pave the way, but 2 is the feminine energy, very emotional, and they want to make that partnership work. If 2 is on your personal calendar this year, that may mean that this is the time for cooperation, patience, and emotional growth, and not a time for major external action, but inner development. So this might mean focusing on building the partnerships and developing your intuition, resolving conflicts and diplomacy. So this is the time to say, let things unfold and focus on your relationships. It's time for the emotional calibration. So this is also the time of subtle shifts and a bit of a slower pace for mending relationships or having those hard conversations, but avoid major conflicts. So what might a typical Life Path 2 look like? So let's say a Life Path 2 in early childhood might mean that they feel a little different. They're a little more sensitive. They might not stand out. They just want to blend in. They might struggle with assertiveness or being overlooked. So for example, in class, a 2 would be the one to gather the information, make sure everyone on the team is heard, put that project together, but would not be comfortable presenting that project in front of the class. In early adulthood, they might learn the value of cooperation and emotional intelligence. They are very intuitive. They are likely to develop strong one-on-one relationships or partnerships, and not so much large group settings. But they might be, again, working behind the scenes. They don't want to be known. They don't want to be seen. They just want to scoot along and make sure everybody's happy. So once in their midlife, once they find their career path, once they find what their expertise is, they will find their voice. But again, not stepping up, not stepping out, but having those solid one-on-one relationships. This could be like coaching or mentoring, a support system for others. And this will go on later in life as a respective calming presence, where they can focus on their friends, family, and spiritual work, or have that sound mind, that sound advice. This is going to be the person who will guide you through the tough times. What are some personality traits for a Life Path 2? Positive traits of a number 2: they are deeply empathetic, loyal, they are solid listeners, they want to hear all sides of the story and will make sure that everyone's voice is heard. They are diplomatic, they are the peacemakers, and they value that relationship and commitment aspect. They actually have a strong intuitive quality too. So that comes with the emotional side. They can pick up on emotions easily, and they tend to use that sensitivity to their advantage when speaking with people or having those one-on-one connections. Now, some of the challenges with a 2 would be that they might be overly sensitive. They might react in different ways, or they might not be able to take criticism well. They take everything very personal. So they might struggle with confrontation or indecision. They can struggle with asserting themselves as well. Part of being a Life Path 2 is that they need to find their way in this world. They need to assert themselves. They need to make sure that their voice is heard, not just other people's voice, but their own as well. So they need to find strength in their emotional intelligence. They need to find strength that they are intuitive. That is not a sign of weakness. That is a strength that they can bring out in others. They know how to connect with people. That is an asset. Like, everyone wishes they could connect with people and bring out information or bring out those interpersonal relationships. Some famous life path twos to consider are Barack Obama, Jennifer Aniston, and Madonna, all very sound and level-headed people. They have a good head on their shoulders and they know how to bring people together. With that being said, what are some possible career paths for a number two? Twos would make great counselors, therapists, mediators, human resources. They are empathetic listeners and guides. They often have creative emotional expressions. So think about artists, musicians, or designers. They are very nurturing. So they could be nurses or healers or anyone in the healthcare or nursing care facilities. Deep connection, deep emotional connection to their patients. They could be event planners as well. They could be diplomats, relationship coaches. They bring people together, bring events together, bring details together. They can work, again, behind the scenes as these event planners and coaches. So some less ideal roles might be high pressure positions, aggressive leadership roles, sales. Try to avoid any leadership roles due to conflict. They might not want to deliver feedback. They might not want to step on people's toes, but they need work environments that are emotionally safe and cooperative. So my advice would be to find that harmony, find the cooperation and the emotional intelligence you need to move forward. So if you are a two and you are in one of those high pressure places, then that might be a way to see if there's a way to pivot or see if there's a way to get into the role that better suits your personality. Some challenges, of course, they don't want to absorb the emotions of others. They have a fear of rejection or conflict sometimes, repressing or suppressing the needs to keep the peace. They might not, again, step on any toes. So they need to balance serving others as well as honoring their own voice. They would need to focus on boundaries or trusting themselves. Of course, journaling. I say that in every video. Journaling is great for everybody, but honoring your voice and keeping a catalog of those feelings was very important for a two. Gentle movements and release. So Tai Chi, yoga, walking in nature. So think of all these things as if you were a number two or know someone who is a number two and maybe they're not in the greatest place. Maybe some of this will help. Maybe some of it will make sense and get them on the right path. So all in all, the two is that sacred power, that softness, the unity, the intuitive truth. They are emotional, one of the more emotional numbers of numerology. Let me know in the comments below. Are you a two? And how does this energy show up in your life? Leave it down below. And of course, like this video if you like this video. Hit one of these links for more from Numerology Lab. I'll see you there.